The Warrior Girl Against the Dragon. In a small village, far away, there lived a brave girl named Lena. Lena was different from other girls in the village. While others played with dolls and helped in the kitchen, Lena liked to run in the fields, climb trees, and practice with a wooden sword her father made for her. Her father was a kind man who worked as a blacksmith. He often told Lena stories of brave warriors who fought dragons and protected their lands. One day, when Lena was still young, a terrible thing happened. A large dragon came to the village. It was a fearsome creature with scales as black as night, eyes that burned like fire, and wings that could cover the sun. The dragon flew over the village and breathed out flames that burned houses, fields, and everything in its path. The people of the village were terrified. They ran to hide in their homes, praying that the dragon would go away. The village leader, a wise old man, called a meeting. "We must do something," he said, "or the dragon will destroy everything we have." "But what can we do?" asked one of the villagers. "We are just simple people. We do not know how to fight a dragon." Lena listened to the villagers and saw their fear. She felt a fire grow inside her heart, not of fear, but of courage. She remembered the stories her father told her, stories of warriors who were not afraid to face danger. Lena stood up and spoke loudly, "I will fight the dragon." The villagers were shocked. "Lena, you are just a girl," they said. "How can you fight a dragon? It is too dangerous." But Lena was determined. She went to her father and asked him to make her a real sword. Her father was worried, but could see the bravery in Lena's eyes. He knew that he could not stop her. So, he made her a sword, the finest he had ever made, strong and sharp. He also made her armor to protect her from the dragon's fire. Lena trained every day with her sword. She practiced her moves in the fields, swinging the sword until her arms were tired. She learned how to be quick and smart, just like the warriors in her father's stories. The villagers watched Lena train, and slowly they began to believe in her. They saw that she was not just a girl, she was a warrior. The day came when Lena felt ready to face the dragon. The dragon had been living in a cave on a mountain near the village. Every few days, it would fly down and attack the village, burning more and more of it. The people were losing hope, but when they saw Lena in her armor with her sword, they felt a glimmer of hope. "Be careful, Lena," her father said, hugging her tightly. "Remember, you are not alone. We are all with you in spirit." Lena nodded, her heart beating fast but strong. She walked to the mountain, her sword shining in the sunlight. The path to the dragon's cave was steep and rocky. It was a difficult climb, but Lena did not stop. She knew she had to reach the dragon's cave before it attacked the village again. As she got closer to the cave, she could hear the dragon's heavy breathing. The sound echoed through the mountains, making Lena feel small, But she did not let fear take over. She stepped into the cave, her sword ready, and called out, "Dragon, come out and face me!" The dragon opened its fiery eyes and stared at Lena. It let out a roar that shook the ground, and flames shot out from its mouth. But Lena did not back down. She held her sword tight and stood her ground. The dragon was surprised. It had never seen such courage in a human before. Most people ran in fear, but not this girl. The dragon began to move towards Lena, its scales shining in the dim light of the cave. Lena knew this was the moment she had trained for. She took a deep breath and prepared to fight the dragon, knowing that she had to be quick and smart to defeat it. The battle was about to begin, and Lena was ready to show the dragon the strength of a warrior's heart. Lena stood face to face with the dragon, her heart pounding like a drum. The dragon, with its massive body and sharp claws, was a terrifying sight. It roared again, louder this time, shaking the walls of the cave. But Lena did not move. She remembered her training, her father's stories, and the hope of her village. This was not just a battle for her, it was a battle for everyone she loved. The dragon lunged at Lena, snapping its jaws and sending flames toward her. Lena quickly rolled to the side, avoiding the fire by just a few inches. The heat was intense, but Lena stayed focused. She knew she had to be quick if she wanted to survive. She struck at the dragon's side with her sword, but the dragon's scales were so hard that the sword bounced off without making a scratch. Lena realized she needed to find the dragon's weak spot. Every creature has one, she thought, remembering her father's words. She circled the dragon, looking for any sign of weakness. The dragon swung its tail, trying to knock her down, but Lena jumped over it and kept moving. She noticed that the dragon's underbelly, where the scales were lighter in color, seemed less protected. The dragon grew angrier with each passing moment. No one had ever dared to fight it like this before. It breathed fire again, lighting up the entire cave. Lena felt the heat on her face, but she did not let it scare her. She stayed close to the dragon, moving around it quickly, looking for her chance. Finally, the dragon reared up on its hind legs, ready to crush Lena with its massive body. This was the moment Lena had been waiting for. She saw the soft underbelly of the dragon, and without hesitation, she drove her sword into it with all her strength. The sword pierced through the dragon's scales and into its heart. The dragon let out a terrible roar, so loud that it echoed through the mountains. It thrashed and flapped its wings wildly, but Lena held on to her sword, pushing it deeper into the dragon's heart. The dragon's movements grew weaker and weaker, until finally it collapsed to the ground with a heavy thud. The cave became silent. Lena stood over the dragon, breathing hard, her hands shaking from the battle. She had done it. She had defeated the dragon. The village was safe. Lena pulled her sword from the dragon's body, the blade shining with victory. She walked out of the cave, feeling a mix of exhaustion and pride. As Lena made her way down the mountain, she could see the village in the distance. The people were gathered, waiting anxiously for her return. When they saw her coming, holding her sword high, a great cheer went up. The villagers ran to meet her, lifting her onto their shoulders and carrying her back to the village as a hero. "You did it, Lena!" they shouted. "You saved us all!" Lena smiled, but she knew that she did not do it alone. She had the support of her village, the training from her father, and the stories of brave warriors that had inspired her. She realized that true strength comes not just from the body, but from the heart and the spirit. The village leader came forward, holding a crown made of flowers. He placed it on Lena's head and said, "From this day on, you will be known as Lena the Brave, the warrior who defeated the dragon." Lena felt a deep sense of happiness. She had followed her heart and protected the people she loved. The village was safe, and the dragon would no longer bring fear to their lives. Lena's story spread far and wide, and people from other villages came to hear about the brave girl who fought a dragon and won. Lena continued to train, but now she also helped others to become strong and brave like her. She knew that there would always be challenges in life, but with courage, determination, and the support of loved ones, anything was possible. And so, the story of Lena the Brave became a legend, told for generations, reminding everyone that even the smallest person can become the greatest hero when they believe in themselves and fight for what is right.